Hey guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Ground Streaming for Dummies multi-part tutorial series that I've been working on for you guys. In this part, I will be covering how to set up roll20 so that you can use your webcams as well as your audio and even music, and how to use these webcams um, to actually embed them into your stream so that your viewers can see everybody's webcams. So to get started, uh, you need to go to roll20.net, and it's free to sign up. And what's actually pretty cool is Roll20 offers a paid service and a free service. The free service defaults your games as a private game, so that way some random person can't just find your game on the list and join in and start talking and whatever. So you don't even have to pay anything. It's pretty cool. So first thing you're going to do once you've signed up is click on Create New Campaign. And then you're going to name your campaign whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. And you don't need to pick anything else. Just hit Create Campaign. And once you've logged into your campaign, once it all boots up, then you should be able to hear your microphone and see your webcam. See, there I am. Hi! If not, you're going to go over here to this little gear and scroll down to where it says I want to broadcast to others, and it might already be set to video and voice, but you need to click off of it, so click like voice only and then click back to video and voice, and it should have a pop-up that requests permission to use your webcam and your microphone. In order to change which cam and microphone, say it picked up like your laptop microphone, but you want to use the one on your headset, you're going to go up here and click on this little camera. Now, I use Google Chrome because it's just better, but if you're using Firefox, there should be some other little way you can kind of set this. But as far as Chrome is concerned, you're just going to click on this little camera, and then you can pick whatever microphone and camera you want to use. So that's pretty simple, and that's pretty much all we're going to really need for Roll20. Now, what's neat about Roll20 is when your friends or your players join in your campaign here, their cameras will be set up just right after yours. So I'm going to show you guys how to add your DM camera as well as cameras for 5 other players. So what we're going to need to do is go over to OBS, and we want to set up a window capture. Now, make sure you only have Roll20 open in Chrome and don't have any other tabs open, because if you have other tabs open, it may not find the Roll20 tab. It's kind of weird, but just bear with me. Just make sure all you have is your campaign open, at least to start. So then you're going to go over here to this Add Sources, and you're going to go to Window Capture, and we're going to call this one Tutorial DM Cam. Okay. And you're going to click on the window drop down, and you want to click on the Roll20. So there you go, and you can just hit OK. So now you can see that it's captured what's on our Roll20 window here, but we want to cut out all the excess white stuff and everything else. All we want is just a little square that's there for the camera. So what you want to do is click over here to your source and right click and go to filters, and then go to the plus and add crop, and you can just leave the name as crop. So this is where you're going to crop how far in pixels, which direction, so that way it's just the square of the webcam. So I already have the numbers down for all 6 cameras, but I'll show you guys how to add the first 2. And at the end of the video, or we'll say in the description on YouTube, because it'll be easier to throw on there, I will give you the zones or the location for each camera. I'll give you the DM1 and then 5 other cameras for 5 other players. Now, if you have 6 or 7 players because you're crazy, um, you're going to have to go in and manually figure those out. But this will show you kind of how to do it. Okay, so first off, we want to cut all this stuff away to the right of the webcam. So let's go down to right. And I know my monitor is 1920 pixels wide. So let's start at 1699. Alright, so you can see that's pretty close. Now you can use your up and down arrows to actually move it in and out. So what you want to do is just get it so that there's no white left, no lines at all. Okay, so now we want to bring the right side in. And the right side we'll say about 9. There we go. And then the top, I know I need to bring the top down 840. Now what's nice is for every camera, your top and bottom will always be the same. So every one of them, so say mine will be 840 and my bottom is 55. Every camera will be 840 and 55. The only thing that's going to change is left and right. Now, if you want the username on there, because in roll20 it allows you to set your display name. Right now I just have Vishera on there because that's what I use. You can have your players use their character names and then actually have their character name as part of the cam that shows up on your stream. Now for my stream that I actually have little tags, which is like a little graphic and it has their character's name on it. So for that purpose, we're just going to remove that. So that's what I need to set that to. And then you just hit close. So you can see we got our little webcam window right here. And I'm going to set it down in this little corner. And you can see as I drag it to the corner, it just kind of snaps to the edges here. Now, I want to make it a little bit bigger so that it reaches this bar here. So I can either move the bar down, which then I would have to move these bars. It's a pain in the ass. Or I can just drag my camera up just a little bit and then click off. Now you can see it's kind of covering this horizontal bar. So what I want to do is put that behind the bar. So I'm going to click on my camera and just move it down behind the horizontal bar bottom layer or source, whatever you want to call it. So there you go. Now you've successfully added your webcam. And anytime, make sure you open OBS first and then open up the roll20, or sorry, open roll20 first and then get into your campaign and then open OBS. And the reason that is because OBS will try to connect to your webcam sometimes, and if you then load roll20, it's not going to be able to load your camera because it's already in use. It's kind of weird. You have to do things in certain orders, but you do it once or twice and you get it down. Alright, so we want to add a second camera. So we're just going to repeat the process here. So we're going to add a window capture. And we'll call this one P1 cam for player 1 camera. Okay. And same thing, the roll20. Now, this one we want to crop the camera that's next to ours. We don't want to crop it around ours again because we already have that. So we're going to go into here and go to filters and add the crop filter. Okay, and I know, like I said, the top and the bottom are always the same. So 840 and 55. Now the other thing we really got to change is the left and right. So this left will be 220 because I already know what it is, and the right will be 1489. And then hit close. Alright, so now it does look white, but that's because that's the space next to my camera. Now if somebody was logged into your campaign, their camera would show up here. So if I move my mouse in the white space kind of next to my camera on roll20, you can see that that's the area that their camera is going to show up. So I want to resize this one the same size as this, and I can just click and drag and kind of move it and get it just right, but it doesn't quite look right. And I want it to match this one. So how do I do that? Well, what I need to do is make sure I have my DM cam selected, right click, transform, edit transform. Now I can see the size. Remember, this is X and this is Y. So it's 198 by 194. And let's just even it up. We'll make this 198 as well, just to make it nice and square. So remember, it's 198 by 198. And we'll just move this over here. Now this, we want the same thing. So make sure we have our player 1 camera selected. Right click, transform, edit transform. So remember, 198 and 198. Close that. So there we go. Now we have our camera. And you might want to, drop it below this bar because it's covering it. So just move it down. There you go. So that's how you add all your players' cameras. And you can add cameras all the way across the bottom of this if you so desire. I mean, you can have cameras all the way around it if you wanted, if you were that crazy enough and had that many players. I generally don't like to have more than 5 players in my party just because sometimes combat and things like that can just take forever. And it's nice because, especially playing online, you would know people come and go. Not every time you play, everybody's going to be available to play every time. So if one of your players is gone, the rest of your party can kind of carry the weight. So that's how you add those. And in the next video, I will show you how to add the actual screens from Fantasy Grounds and put them into this area here and add the little chat box here. So let me show you one thing real quick on Roll20. If we go back over here and we click on this little music note, let me remove this so I can show you. Now this is where you're going to play your background sounds or music, and it will stream to your players as well as your actual stream. So you want to click add and say I want to add, I got battle music typed in here, and we're going to add this dungeon field battle music. And you can click play to hear how it sounds. So you're going to click the little plus sign, and then you can close this. Now you can see it adds it here, and you can rename it whatever. So we call it like battle music. Okay. And then this is your volume, and if you make it too loud, you're gonna drown out your voice, and your players aren't even gonna be able to hear you. So I generally keep it somewhere around in here. Each, it varies with the song. And so that's all you really gotta do is you can just add sound effects. So say you want like a squeaky door. Well, if I can spell squeak right. Squeaky door. Okay, maybe there's not a squeaky door. Door. Okay, so we'll try this one. Okay, that's a horrible sound, but if you wanted that, there you go. So now you have music you can play, and you have a sound effect. So, and you can just change it to whatever you want to, and kind of keep it nice and organized. So that's all you're going to use Roll20 for. And one thing that's cool is because you're using a window capture, so I'm going to take OBS here, and I'm going to cover up my webcam on the Roll20 thing and see what happens. Didn't do anything. So you can still see my my webcam and everything, as long as you don't minimize Roll20. It's going to still keep capturing the webcams, which is pretty cool because then you can kind of stack windows. Like, all right, I have this here, and then I'm going to just click off to this and change the music, and then go back to watch my stream. So it's kind of neat how that works. But that's all I really have for this video. I hope I didn't go too fast for you. I didn't want to force feed you so much information and just bore you with it. If you have any questions, you can drop a question in the comments below or find me on Fantasy Grounds. My username again is Vishera. And that's all I really got for this one. In the next one, again, I will show you how to add the Fantasy Grounds game into your OBS stream. So that's all I got for this, and I will see you guys later.